Today we're going to talk about Alice. I'm very excited. We're going to talk about her kit. Is she hyper carry? Can she be quick swappable? We're going to talk about her best gear, best discs, best substats, alternatives to her best WEngines, and her teammates, all of that stuff. Without the bloat, we're going to get rid of all the stupid flavored text that Hoyo has. She is very simple to understand, pretty easy to build. She doesn't have any like shackles or limitations, like she needs to get up to this amount of attack or anything like that. So what does she do? Can you explain it with the least amount of sentences as possible? Can you explain it like I am 5? Remember what I said in this video, in the previous video, that ZZZ devs know that the players, especially the newer players, want what Yanagi does, which is an on-demand disorder procer. And that's what pretty much Alice is. An on-demand disorder procer. When Alice builds up her meter, which is called Blade Etiquette, when she fills up her meter, all 3 bars, when you spend those 3 bars, she triggers Polarized Assault. What does that do? It does damage and disorders. And this bar behaves like Miyabi's orbs, her 6 orbs. And when she has the full meter and spends those 3 little bars, it's kind of like Miyabi as well when she spends her 6 orbs. When you see that she's about to exhaust her orbs, or in the case of Alice, when you see that last bar being depleted, you can quick swap out of that animation. And just like Miyabi, she likes disorders. Not only does she buff disorder damage, but disorders also give her more meter. And also if you pair it with Miyabi, we'll talk about that later, then disorders also help Miyabi with her orb generation as well. While building the meter and spending the meter is kind of like Miyabi, she also kind of like Yanagi. Yeah, I already said that she is an on-demand disorder procer like Yanagi, and a lot of people have been wanting that niche on another character, so we got that. But also she can be on field a lot, or she can be quick swappable. So how do we fill up the meter? How do we get Blade Etiquette? As you naturally play, you're going to generate a lot of Blade Etiquette, especially in no particular order, like assist follow-ups, as well as her X special. Her ultimate gives 200, her basic attack string, the basic attack sequence, also her dash attack, all that stuff also contributes to Blade Etiquette as well. And passively through assaults, and also from her core passive additional ability, she gets 30 Blade Etiquette, which is 10% of her entire meter from disorders. She's very fluid and versatile, especially the more you invest into her. Just like Hugo does at M6, Alice can open doors to way more fluid teams. Well, without going all the way to M6 like Hugo. You don't have to go that hard. This is just directly from Hoyo themselves, right? The way she's designed is that the more you vertically invest into her and her teammates, which we'll talk about, then she'll be able to transition from being a hyper carry to a very quick swappable agent. So Zeos, what opens the doors to that? What do you mean by like vertically invested? So basically anything that gives Alice any build-up rate and more disorders coming from her teammates, it's gonna just help Alice be a machine at what she does. More build-up rate and more disorders means that Alice just does. She's a rabbit, right? She's just gonna fuck faster. That's the simplest way to put it. She's gonna get her full meter faster, spend those full meters faster, more disorders. You can see how this goes. So that's gonna help teammates like Miyabi to get her 6 orbs. You can quick swap between those 2, the furry sword wielders. You can do that. Also, if you invest into Alice's M1 and 2, it also has great synergy with Jane. I mean, once again, you don't need to get M1 and M2 to play with Jane, but like I just said, the more bullet rate, you can play them like as a very quick swappable, fun team, juggle team. Before we talk about her gear, I just want to remind you guys that 79% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel, and you're missing out because from this video, from the comment section, by the way, leave a comment if you want to enter. I'm going to be doing a Yuzua or Alice skin giveaway. Now, if you don't want their skins, then you're going to get the monochromes to do whatever you want with it. Make sure you guys subscribe and hit that like to be able to enter. And of course, to be able to be picked, leave that comment about your favorite team or your playstyle in ZZZ. Anyways, back to the video. A couple disclaimers. This is early math, and just don't look at the numbers. Follow with me, guys. Listen to my voice. In the Miyabi video, you guys just looked at the picture and had the volume muted, and you guys were just confused. I'm gonna simple this down, dumb it down a little bit. Just follow with me here. And also, I want to remind you guys, there is an anomaly inflation that just happened recently. The simplest way to explain this for someone who doesn't theory craft, if you needed 100 out of 100 anomaly to get the assault to proc, now you need like 110 now. Not only are bosses going through HP inflation, but there's also like you need more anomaly buildup. Because like we have a lot of sources of anomaly buildup lately. if you got like Yuzua, for example. As for the substats, the control of this experiment, we had 15 attack percentage rolls and 13 anomaly proficiency rolls. For those that are beginners, intermediate players should know this. It doesn't mean plus 15 to attack percentage, okay? We're also counting just rolling attack percentage onto the disc. So if you have +2 attack percentage on your slot 1 disc, that means 3 attack percentage rolls. So basically for the substats, it's not too hard to achieve, but it's not too easy either. It's pretty like 70 to 85 percentile rolls. It's pretty decent, but it's not like end game rolls. So it's achievable and evened out as well. Anyways, let's get into the math here. So for her discs, it's easy. We have one option. We have 4-piece fanged metal for patch 2.1. We don't know about the future, but for now, it's gonna be 4-piece fanged metal. And I've been getting a lot of questions about the 2-piece. Is it better to get 30 anomaly proficiency, or is it better to get the 8% anomaly mastery? Well, 2-piece Phaeton's Melody, I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, is 2% better. In the setting that I just provided with the substat rolls that I just mentioned, as well as Alice with Yuzua, Vivian, all M0R1. This is very important, guys. See, when you guys go to these like sites, they're just grading the character by herself without other factors like her teammates, the teammates WEngine, the teammates disc sets. So yeah, we're gonna talk about all of that factored in. Now, Vivian is just a placeholder here. You don't have to be like, oh my god, do I need Vivian? No, okay, no. Slot 5 pen ratio is going to win, but not by much. Very close to damage percentage. The reason why pen ratio is winning is because she has so many plus damage sources from her signature WEngine. Well, you can see down here, right? 40 from signature WEngine, 45 from her 4-piece fanged metal, 30 from slot 5, 18 from version 2.2. Now this may change. This is being worked on right now in the beta, but Yuzua is going to be, I don't know if you guys like watched my previous videos about Yuzua. I told you guys to save your stamina because Yuzua is going to get a more universal disc set that works for all her teammates, including herself. So for example, Alice, if you're gonna play Alice, Yuzua, Miyabi, then they're all gonna get, like, let's just say in this case 18 plus damage percentage, which is gonna be pretty much overall buff if you're gonna be playing that quick swap Alice playstyle that I just mentioned. Yuzua also from her core passive gives 15, so that is why it's 148 percentage. Now for slot 6, because of Alice's core passive, she wants Anomaly Mastery. Anomaly Mastery is going to speed up her blade etiquette generation. Not only that, Alice core passive, simply, I'm gonna say it as simple as possible, she's gonna convert Anomaly Mastery into Anomaly Proficiency as well. So Anomaly Mastery helps her build up her anomaly faster, more disorders, and she's gonna also hit hard because some of it is being converted into anomaly proficiency. So it's gonna beat out slot 6 attack percentage by a lot, a big margin. Now for slot 4, of course, no contest here. It is gonna be anomaly proficiency. As for the substats, it is very close between anomaly proficiency, attack percentage, and anomaly proficiency wins a little bit, but you know, you can't really control your rolls. They're both pretty equal, all right? Pen is not bad. It's like half of attack percentage in terms of value, and flat attack is closely behind of Pen. So I just explained their best 4-piece, best 2-piece, best slot 4, 5, and 6. Now let's move on to other variations of Alice. What about if I don't have her signature WEngine? Well, for those that have Fusion Compiler, pen ratio slot 5 wins by 0.12%. It is so close that it really doesn't matter. Just use a one that has a better roll, whether it is pen ratio slot 5 or physical damage slot 5. Just pick the one that has better substats in this case, because they're so close, just like her signature WEngine as well. Now, as for substats, attack wins by a little, 0.04%. Pretty much the same. Attack equals anomaly proficiency. Pen is half of anomaly proficiency or attack percentage, and followed by flat attack. Now, whether you're using Fusion Compiler or Weeping Gemini or her signature WEngine, when you do get Alice's N1, then her plus damage wins slightly over pen ratio, but once again, it's not that much. As for Weeping Gemini, slot 5 damage, the physical damage wins out, and pen ratio is 1.85% behind. 1.85% is not big enough to ignore the substats. Now, as for the substats for the Weeping Gemini, it is going to be the same. It's so close. Attack percentage and AP, they're dead even. So attack percentage equals AP, and then pen and flat attack still being pretty valuable. So Weeping Gemini in this case was maxed out at R5. The difference between Fusion Compiler and Weeping Gemini R5 is not that big of a difference. Fusion Compiler is winning, but just by a little bit. And Weeping Gemini R5 is right behind Fusion Compiler. If you have Jane's WEngine, you could use Jane's WEngine, but I wouldn't use Alice's WEngine on Jane. Now, of course, Alice works really well with Yuzua because of what Yuzua does with her core passive, helps with build-up rates, more disorder damage, all that stuff. But even without Yuzua, she's perfectly fine without Yuzua. You could use Astra, you could use Nicole. What you're gonna notice is that Alice just builds up her anomaly, physical anomaly slower, and disorders at a slower rate than ones that are playing M0R1 with M0R1 Yuzua, or M2 Yuzua, or M2R1 Alice with M2 Yuzua or M0 Yuzua. Those teams, they're just gonna have more anomaly mastery, anomaly buildup rate, as well as more frequent disorders. So they're gonna do more damage, obviously, but they also open the doors to more playstyles. Like I said, if they want to keep playing hyper carry, they can with Alice, Yuzua, Vivian, or with Yanagi, and of course Bernice, but she can also play with Miyabi or with Jane as well. Like I mentioned previously, you could play Alice, Jane, Yuzua. So by going a little bit more vertically into Alice, it opens the doors to way more teams for Alice. She becomes way more versatile. But once again, I gotta say this again, even at M0R0, she is still plenty versatile. For those that want to vertically invest more into Alice as Alice mains, they want to open doors to more fluid, keyword fluid team comps, then you could look into her mindscape. Like for example, M1, when Alice triggers a polarized assault, she gains 25 blade etiquette. So it's gonna help build up her meter faster. So you see how the wheel is spinning faster here. When she triggers assault against an enemy, the target's defense is reduced by 20% for 30 seconds. That's team wide. So M1 means more damage, more disorders, which is more damage for her and her whole teammates that benefit off of disorders, Miyabi, and also has synergy from the defense thread as well. So M1 is very nice. Now M2, when her ult lands and hits an enemy, it triggers polarized assault. More polarized assaults equals more damage, more disorders, more blade etiquette. Has synergy with M1 because polarized assault with M1 gives 25 more blade etiquette. Yeah, you see how this goes, guys. Also, all squad members assault damage increased by 15%. So remember I was talking about playing with Jane as well. Now once again, you don't need M2 to go play with Jane, but you know there's that synergy as well. Disorder damage against enemies suffering from physical anomaly increased by 50%, and upon entering the battlefield, she gains 1,000 decibels. And as I said, if you go even more down the route, like M4 and M6, she becomes like literally a quick swap Andy. It's gonna be hella fucking fast, hyper speed Alice gameplay. She is a zoomer after all right? So that's gonna be her mindscapes, and that's gonna be the video, guys. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful. If you guys have any questions, let me know down below. If you want to join the giveaway, make sure you do so. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then you just skipped around and you missed out. It's somewhere in the video. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.